I don't know who needs to hear this, but if your nappies are smelling, the problem's you. It's not the nappy. Maraha Bekaro highs. Sorry, I still don't know how to start these videos. Anyway, I want to keep going on this revolutionary reusable nappy journey and talk about the myths, the legends around reusables. So as someone who's used reusables close to 3 years, madness, I can't believe that. But I've heard a lot of stuff, reasons why I shouldn't be using reusable nappies. And imagine, so even though I've been using it for close to 3 years, so people are still telling me all the reasons why I shouldn't use it, or they tell me the reasons that what they've heard for the reasons they've heard for why they shouldn't use reusable nappies. So I just want to put all this in this video. And even just before we get started, the funniest one I've heard is it restricts movement. What? Or this is a favorite. The water in my hair is too hard, it will never work for me. Stop it. Where did we get this from? Oh, sorry, last one. Or it's too big, it's too small, it won't fit now. Oh no! Sorry, I can help myself. It reminds me of that Beyonce song. But this is actually what people say. It's too big, it's too small, all this stuff. So the phrase I love to live by is in Arabic. It's Stilllll Mujarrab Wallah al-Hakim. So ask the expert, So ask the person who's done it or tried it. Don't ask the so-called expert, because the person who's tried it has actually been able to think through the issue, think through the errors, has done the troubleshooting, and they're the ones that can give you advice how to overcome it. But lots of people who just sit down and just give advice, so-called advice, they've never actually done it. So let's just get started. So I've got a brew going, so I'm just going to go and get that some mette. So let's get started. Ooh la la. It's too big now! Ah! I'm going crazy. Too much caffeine, I think. So myth number 1. Reusable nappies causes nappy rash. No, it doesn't. I don't know where this comes from. I think it's because people don't know the science or the reason behind reusable nappy rash. Nappy rash is caused by prolonged contact with liquid or moisture, and there's an irritant. So look, prolonged contact between moisture and an irritant coming together, causing that friction, which is a perfect breeding ground for bacteria, fungus, thrush, as you may. So that's the reason. And even in my experience, we've had nappy rash about 3 or 4 times. Let's say 3 times. So the first 2 times were because of disposables. So my mother and my mother-in-law didn't want to, were being rebellious and didn't want to use disposables, didn't want to use reusables rather. And they got nappy rash. And that was a perfect case study for me and for us to say to them, can you use the reusables, because it's just better, and every time you use disposables, this is what happens. And it happened. So my mum changed, my mother-in-law wasn't convinced, but yes. And the last time was my fault. I was trying to be cheap. It was before I did that last video about the cost of reasoning of the washing machine. I was trying to be cheap and I didn't do the final rinse, and that's why there was a prolonged rash. Some possible solutions, if you are worried about nappy rash, is change more often. It breaks my heart when I see other people leaving nappies on the nappies on their children for so long, or it breaks my heart when I leave the nappies on for so long as well, because I'm being a bit lazy. But even with disposable nappies, the advice is to change every 4 to 6 hours. A lot of the time, we leave those nappies on for about 7, 9 hours. So yes, if you are really concerned, just change it more often. Then it leaves time for that. It doesn't leave time for that moisture to just irritate the skin. Or what we do at night as well is we put an extra insert there just to absorb more liquid. Myth number 2. They restrict baby movements and cause delays. Come closer, come closer. No, come closer, come on, talk. Closer. Just say it with me. Before disposables, we were using something. What was that? Reusables. Disposables, that's what's new. So if your grandmother is able to move around, mashallah, if your great-grandmother, if you're blessed and fortunate enough to see her, was able to move around, I promise you, your children will be able to move. So don't worry. So I just need you to couch all the criticisms of reusable nappies in this. There was a world before disposables, and that world was a version of reusables, so it's fine. So with my children, 2 children, both were walking by a week and a year and a week. I think even a year and a day. You can see in this video, you can see that Aboud is running around the house. He's fine. Aboud, by the way, he goes upstairs, plays with a toilet brush. Even before he was walking, he goes up and down the stairs. He was doing that like 9 months or 10 months. Like I said, these numbers are a bit hazy for me by now, but it's fine. If this is a major concern for you, do more tummy time. I didn't do any tummy time with Aboud. I did a bit with Christopher. I can't remember, but one of them I did a bit and the other I didn't, and it didn't really do any difference. If it is a problem, speak to your doctor. And have more nappy free time, by the way, if that is a major issue. I didn't do that. Ain't nobody got time to be cleaning up that. Myth number 3. Dealing with soiled nappies is gross and smelly. You've got me there. Yes, it's gross and smelly. But I feel like this type of criticism is for those new parents, or it's just for people who just don't really want to do it. Because surely nappy changing is just nasty in general. But yes, it is. Reusable nappies is particularly nasty, especially when it's a doo-doo one. You have to swish it around. There's nothing I can say apart from you get used to it. If it's that much of an issue for you, like I said, there's nothing new under the sun. You can get liners that you can put, which is like a barrier between the bum and the nappy itself, and it catches the doo-doo and you just throw it in a bin if it's that serious for you. We did that initially, but after a while you evolve or devolve depending on your perspective, and you just don't care, you just swish it around the toilet bowl and throw it in the dirty nappy. Yes, or install a bidet. I promise you it'll make your life so much better. I don't know what it's called. In the shop near my house they called it the Muslim wash. I don't know why, but I don't know why. Sorry. You just give it a squirt, and then yes, this is what I'm saying. Let's add a magenta. So I've actually tried it. These are all the solutions. Myth number 4. Reusables smell and you can't get the smell out, and they're unhygienic. Hygienic. What does unhygienic even mean? Like you'll get infections if around that? What? No. Does it mean your child will get nappy rash? We already addressed that. No. I'm not sure. Does it mean you have fecal matter around the house? If that is the case, again, put some vinegar in your bucket, in a mop bucket, a squeeze of lemon for the smell, put a dollop of washing up liquid in there, sort it. No problems with hygiene. Like, I just want to show you that there's no smell. This is probably how my son will get nappy rash, by the way, because it's on my face. But there's no problem. So yes, and also finally, I'll get to that point. Myth number 5 or 6. Reusable nappies are complicated and difficult to use. Do you know, I just get personally offended when I hear things like this. Especially because they're not saying this to women, but the implication is they're saying it to women just because women are typically the primary caregiver. So, or whoever the circle, whoever the carrying person is in your household. Anyway, well, I get caught in a political trap. Anyway, the reason I get so offended is because if you're a mum and you've given birth, you've done something, wow. Do not allow anyone to tell you that something is too complicated for you. If you had a natural delivery, you have to contort your body in so many ways. You had to have someone shove their fingers, even if it's cesarean, shove their fingers up you without asking, and shove their fingers and say, oh, 2 centimeters, oh, 4 centimeters, you've gone back 3 centimeters. You've had to endure all that. If you're a cesarean section, you've had cesarean, someone has unceremoniously swished around your organs and cut someone and taken someone out of you, and you're going to allow someone to say it's complicated. You do so much around the house. You probably, a lot of the time, you're working a full-time job in a workplace and a full-time job at home. Even if you're working in the house or you're a stay-at-home mum or whatever, you're doing a full-time job caring for your circle, square, triangle, whatever, parallelogram in the house, and your children. And you're probably out there doing all sorts, and someone's going to tell you something's too complicated. Don't allow anyone to do that to you. It's not, there are so many other things you can do if it is a problem. If you are finding it complicated, there's Velcro thingies you can use. Do you know what the problem is? I've just done laundry. the nappies, and the Velcro ones, I don't know where I put them. But anyway, see, no smell. So it's easy, habibi. يعني خلاص في شيء رون جولي ما في شيء رون جولي. Sorry, I'm mixing Yoruba and Arabic. There is nothing easier than this. It's just butt clips. It's fine. It's honestly, I'll probably put a video in so you can see. Don't allow anyone to like diminish your ability. Yeah, so those types who say in galao, ana gadha, to say that like, you're able to do it. It's not complicated, and also the payoff is so much better. Reusable nappies are just better for the environment, the child's skin, for everyone. Myth number 6: reusables are bulky and uncomfortable for babies. There have been studies done about reusables comparing to disposables. Maybe I'll find it, but there has not been any difference. There was actually a study that was done just talking about hips or something of children. They found children without nappies do better with children with nappies. So I guess well, I don't know who's gonna knock. I'm not putting my child walking. They need nappies, so I'm not cleaning up that mess. So if you're that way inclined, consider having nappy-free time and you clean it up. But the point is, there is no difference between reusables and disposables in terms of comfort level for the child or in terms of their development in their gait. Myth number 8. Washing reusable nappies uses a lot of water and energy, making them not much better than the environment. So the person that said that didn't watch my last video. Granted, it was about 30 minutes long, but if they watched that, they would know that the cost is negligible of using a washing machine. I think I worked it out at about £60 for over 2.5 years. But if £60 is your problem, if you have a problem with £60, there's a lot more issues that you need to speak to your friends and family about. My energy bills are very high, to be honest, when I compare it to my friends. But the reason it's very high, it's my electricity bill is fine, it's my gas bill. But you know when that's my marital issues, but you know when you're with someone that's not from the UK, you have to use the heat, you have to heat up the house a lot, it just costs money. So that's a problem, not the reusable nappies. The reusable nappies actually make it easier for me in terms of the cost. Anyway, before I dig myself into a bigger hole, as long as you do a full load, and you can even, if it's not full, put some of the other baby's clothes in there, you're saving a cost anyway. And remember, you're only doing 2 extra loads a week anyway, so it's fine. Number 9, reusables are expensive. I did a whole video about this, a whole segment of this. The savings is about £1,000. Yes, the initial investment is a bit higher. I think it was about £300. If you sent me a message and asked me, that was a chair, not me. If you send me a message, I can break it down. But honestly, the problem when I get frustrated with these type of things, because people will spend £1,000 on a pram, but when it comes to nappies or reusable nappies, they can't spend £300. Even that's crazy to me, by the way. People spend £1,000 on a pram. Myth number 10. They leak more often than disposables. Okay, I think this is the first one where it's not a myth, because it does leak, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. It does leak. It does. I'll be a lie if I said it doesn't leak. But the question, you need to remember the who, what, where, when, how leash of reusable nappies. When there's a leak, think of where is a leak. Think of if the leak is on the. Let me show you before I show you my nether regions, and then I get blocked on YouTube. Imagine the child. If the leak is here, that means it's not tight enough. So that means maybe consider doing this clip. If the leak is at the top here, that means you need to do it tighter here. So a lot of people think, oh, it's not comfortable, they do it very loose, but no, do it tight. If the leak is anywhere else, think about that. And think of who as well, who changed the paper last time. You can just have a word with them, but don't get into trouble or no accusations. Make sure you have a nice tone. It's not worth getting into an argument about reasonableness. So my children, mashallah, I have, mashallah, very tall children, but a bit slim. Thank you. Children. So it needs to be particular, and always when it's on the child, pull it up at the back just to really hoist it up. Yes, but there are leaks. There is a learning curve. But I promise you, just stick with it and it'll be fine. Also, a big part of it is the inserts as well. If it's new, it's not particularly absorbent. I think even with towels, they say you should wash it first before you start to use it. And that's just because it helps with your absorbency. And do not use conditioner or liquid detergent. That affects your absorbency as well. Just stick with it. Wash the inserts about 3 times. Then the absorbency will reduce. And there are leaks, don't let me lie to you. See, and they say this. 11. You need to soak reusable nappies in harsh chemicals. Who the does that? I don't know, maybe in the 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, early 1900s, people had to do that. But there's this new invention. It's, yeah, but since the last video, the door's broken off this is what happens when you have children. The door's broken off the washing machine. You know, you spend all this money, you wanted to get an integrated washing machine, wanted a nice fitted one, something, you do all the measurements, make sure it fits the door, make sure it fits the gap, and only for a child to come over and break it off the hinges. Anyway, we have washing machines, so you don't need to soak it in harsh chemicals. It's actually fine for the most part. So yeah, just use a washing machine. I've never soaked it. I see on Reddit, or I've heard people say they have to soak it. I don't know why they're doing that. I guess it's force of habit. I guess it's all these so-called hakim or the experts telling them that they need to do this, but you don't. I don't do it. I regularly leave my nappies 3, 4, 5 days without washing them, and it's absolutely fine. I just don't have the time. I'm already struggling with the laundry. Those first 6 months almost killed me. To do another thing, it would have killed me. It's not possible. All these stuff. And honestly, yes, that is true. Mark Hug, to add another 2 loads to the laundry, by the way, not that much. It does take time. But then, do you know what that means? It means the rest of us men need to step up and help them do more. It means maybe we need to wake up half an hour earlier to do the laundry. It means, or go to sleep half an hour later to do the laundry. It means you, the triangle, the woman, need to speak to the circle, the man, to say, can you help me? Femi saying this reusable nappy thing is better, cheaper. So you benefit, I benefit, the children benefit. So let's give this a go. Yeah, so yeah, it's harder. But do you know what? What we need to remember is the way things are today isn't an indication of the way things will be tomorrow. There is something better. And reusable nappies are better. Anyway, to conclude, if you have any questions, feel free to put it down there in the comment section. I do. I'll respond. Hakim. I've tried it. It's been 3 years. Happy to go for another 5 years using reusable nappies. All that to say, see you in the next video. Inshallah, maybe next week I'll record it. I don't even know when this one's going to be edited, to be honest. So enjoy. Stay on the revolution. Ciao. Or double.